In the nowadays intensely populated Metroidvania landscape, one game that managed to catch my attention was Frontier Hunter Ezra's Wheel of Fortune. And that is no small feat if you've been keeping up with Metroidvanias lately. There are dozens and dozens of potentially excellent upcoming games on this genre, most being produced by indie developers. The publisher of Frontier Hunter was nice enough to hand me a review copy of their game, but even before that I was already talking about it in an upcoming Metroidvanias list, and it got the 15th place there, so I was happy to try out the early access build and did enjoy it. Frontier Hunter is about to come out in early access one day after the release of this video, and this early access build is incredibly chunky. It took me 9 hours to get through it, but clearly there is a lot more to come in the final version, which is great because I enjoyed those 9 hours very much. The 1.0 is scheduled for a late 2023 release, about a year from now, and that extra production time bodes well for Frontier Hunter because even though the game is doing everything well right now, it could use some polish to flourish and become an excellent title. The best thing about Frontier Hunter though has already achieved excellency in my opinion, and that's the Metroidvania style exploration. Many times in smaller scale indie games of this kind, the map can feel too simple, whether in size, stuff to find, enemy variety, or traversal complexity. Frontier Hunter already has a huge map, most screens are wide with multiple paths to take, the enemies are incredibly varied, which is a huge plus, and it always feels rewarding to explore, and all that results in a great world to get lost in, seriously. Another great aspect that needs almost no improvement is the combat. Actually, the action here is probably what differentiates Frontier Hunter the most. There are 3 characters to control, you can switch between them on the go, and each has access to unique weapons. Ezra can use katanas, rapiers, and lances, Neil has double daggers and boxing gloves, and Kiara, my favorite, has kickboxing boots and several firearms. Machine guns, snipers, or rocket launchers. This combat feels fantastic. It's fluid, responsive, and satisfying. You have a wide variety of moves that you learn by finding books in treasure chests, and the way you use them is pretty cool. It's like a fighting game. You have to perform specific commands like a Hadouken or down-up attack or whatever else. I mean, I can see some not liking this, but I did enjoy it. I found that it fit this kind of game nicely. Another highlight is the customization. In true Symphony of the Night spirit, there are tons of items, armor, and weapons to collect and choose from. Each equipment has a number of slots where you can insert cores scavenged from defeated enemies that will improve your stats. These slots may be obstructed, forcing you to clear them up by modifying the equipment. You can also craft new gear, complete quests for NPCs in exchange for money and items, and buy recipes for cooking on save benches. And eating them will increase your stats temporarily. And for all that, you will need to use the hundreds and hundreds of items you can collect, giving you plenty of reason to go out of your way to defeat an enemy or even grind a little. The game needs some polish in some aspects though. For example, the translation is a bit off. I had a few issues with collisions not registering here and there, and the game could use more work in transitions and menus, especially when there is text involved. But all that is definitely minor. The core of the game is certainly in the right place, with cool combat, great exploration, and nice difficulty, especially in boss fights and when fighting multiple enemies at once. The story is not the best, at least so far, though I don't think they can fix that at this point. I found the humor in it unenjoyable. It also has some slight horniness in the dialogue. It's kind of weird, but it's not too often. But other than that, the game is clearly in the right path. There are even 2 parts where the game deviates from its core gameplay. In the beginning there is a kind of a on-rails shooting section in first person, and later on a side view shooting section. Those are nothing incredible, but enough to refresh the pacing very well. So yeah, all in all, Frontier Hunter is definitely shaping up nicely. I'm eager to see the rest of the game when it launches in 1 year or so. So far, I would give this a 7.5 or 8 score, and has clear potential to grow a lot more. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Just figured I'd do a quick preview on this one since they sent me an early review copy, and I'm also going to feature this one in the best games of 2022 episode something on Metroidvanias. But the next video coming soon will be episode 2 review of the best games of 2022 that you may have missed, and that will be on turn-based RPGs, baby, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.